I don't remember unlocking the door. The box is already on my kitchen counter anyway, though. It's small, about the size of a shoebox, and placed neatly, squared with the edge of the granite like someone took a second to make sure it looked intentional. Brown cardboard, no logo, no shipping label, just my name written across the top in careful blue ink. First and last, spelled correctly, not the nickname everyone uses, the formal version, the one on my driver's license. I stand there barefoot on the cold tile, my phone loose in my hand, listening to the house breathe around me. The heater clicks on, the refrigerator hums. Upstairs, a drawer slides shut, followed by the soft thud of footsteps. My husband getting the kids dressed for school. Normal sounds. Safe sounds. I try to remember carrying the box inside. I can't. Tape is clear and pressed flat. No wrinkles, no fingerprints. Whoever sealed it wasn't in a hurry. Whoever put it here knew where here was supposed to be. I touch the corner of the box with one finger and pull back immediately, my heart jumping like I'd made a mistake. There's a smell to it, not strong, just a faint cardboard and something warm, like it's been sitting inside the house for a while. I tell myself it's probably nothing, a misdelivery, something I ordered and forgot about, a neighbor's mistake. The thought doesn't settle. What settles instead is the feeling, low and physical, that opening it would be agreeing to something, that whatever's inside already assumes I'll accept it. Like this isn't the beginning of anything. Like it's a continuation. I feel stupid for being afraid. I feel worse for not wanting my kids to see it. This didn't start with packages. It started with letters. The first one showed up in the spring, tucked into our mailbox between grocery flyers and a utility bill. Plain white envelope, no stamp, no return address, just my name. Inside was a single sheet of printer paper, folded once. It said, "Hope you're enjoying the warmer weather. The kids must be glad to be outside again." That was it. I remember standing in the driveway rereading it, squinting up and down the street like I'd catch someone watching from behind a windshield. I laughed out loud, embarrassed at myself. Probably a neighbor with the wrong mailbox, a harmless mistake. I threw it away and didn't tell my husband. The second letter came 3 weeks later. Same envelope, same handwriting. "I saw you switched the kids' backpacks this week," it said. "Easy mistake. Mondays are hard." My stomach dropped in a slow, heavy way. I had switched their backpacks. One of them had cried about it. No one outside the house should have known that. Still, I explained it away. Maybe a parent from school, someone who'd seen us in the parking lot. It wasn't threatening. It didn't ask for anything. It didn't even sound familiar. That was almost worse. The letters kept coming every few weeks, just long enough apart that I could convince myself that they'd stopped. Each one observational, careful. They mentioned the time we usually left for school, that we sometimes forgot the dog's leash, that my husband parked crooked when he was tired. Once it mentioned that I'd been crying in the car after school drop-off. That one I didn't throw away. I called the post office after that. The woman I spoke to sounded tired before I even finished explaining. She asked if the letters contained threats, and I said no. She told me there wasn't much they could do without that. No stamp meant no tracking. No return address meant no sender. She suggested a locked mailbox, like it was a raccoon problem. I hung up feeling embarrassed for even calling. Then the letters stopped. Weeks went by, then another. I started to relax in a way that felt like betrayal, like ignoring a smoke alarm because it stopped chirping. I told myself stress makes patterns where there aren't any, that nothing bad had actually happened. Then the Christmas card came. It was generic, red, gold lettering, season's greetings, no photo. Inside, my name again. "This is my favorite time of the year for your family," it said. "You keep the house warmer than most." I sat at the table holding it while my kids colored beside me, humming to themselves. I didn't feel watched. I felt remembered. After that, I did something I wish I hadn't. I started paying attention. I noticed how often the mailbox lid was already closed when I went to check it, how the dog barked at the side yard sometimes for no reason, how the letters had never actually gone through the mail. No stamps, no postmarks, just placed. One afternoon while the kids were at school and my husband at work, I checked our doorbell camera history. Not because I expected to see anything, just to reassure myself. There were no gaps, no recordings of nothing, just missing time. 10 minutes here, 15 there. No alerts, no errors. The system hadn't malfunctioned. It had simply not recorded. I told myself I didn't understand how it worked. I stopped checking. Which brings me back to this box. It's still sitting on my counter when my phone buzzes with a reminder about the school holiday party. I swipe it away without reading. The tape hasn't been disturbed. The box hasn't moved. I don't know what's inside. But I know whoever put it there knew exactly when I'd be alone long enough to notice it. I pick it up, finally, my hands shaking just enough to annoy me, carry it to the garage. I set it on the shelf beside the paint cans, pushing it back so it's partially hidden. That feels like a decision. That night, after the kids are asleep, I go to lock the doors. I pause at the back door, staring at the deadbolt. It's already locked. I stand there longer than I need to, my hand resting on the knob, trying to remember locking it earlier. I don't. In the morning, the box is still in the garage. But I start noticing small things after that. The thermostat set back to our usual temperature before I remember doing it. The kids' shoes lined up by the door the way I like them, even on mornings I don't have time. A blanket folded on the couch after I know I left it bunched up. None of it's dramatic. None of it's wrong enough to point to. And that's the problem. A few days later, I take the trash out and notice something sitting neatly on top of the bin. The Christmas card. The one I'd hidden in the back of a drawer. It's dry, uncreased, like it's been placed there deliberately. I stand in the cold air holding it, my breath fogging, my heart pounding hard enough to make my ears ring. The garage door is closed, the box is still inside. I don't bring the card back in. A duplicate? I don't know. A copy? The original? I can't think. That night, I dream that I opened the box. There's nothing inside, just an index card with my handwriting on it. It says, "You already let me in." I wake up before dawn, and the house is silent. I lie there listening to my family breathe, trying to hold on to the feeling of being awake, of being present. In the morning, as I'm packing lunches, I notice something on the kitchen counter. Not the box, my keys. They're laid out neatly, the way I do when I don't want to forget them. I stand there staring at them, my chest tight, and realize something I haven't let myself think until now. I've been assuming the box is waiting for me to open it, but it isn't. It's waiting for me to admit that this didn't start with letters. It started when I stopped noticing what I couldn't explain. The box is still in the garage. I don't open it. I don't throw it away. I leave it where it is, and every day after that, the house stays exactly the way I like it. That's how I know. Whoever put it there, doesn't need me to do anything anymore.